Hi everybody, it's Creative Katie, Karen Burchill. Welcome to my channel, Mixed Media Creations. You can follow me on all my social media. Just search for Creative Katie and you're sure to find me. If you wish to support my channel, you can shop through my Amazon influencer links or make a direct donation through my PayPal link. Another thing you can do to help me out is subscribe to my channel. It's really important that you click on the bell and select the option to be notified of upcoming videos. That way you're sure not to miss any. This art journal page tutorial is called Be a Voice, and I do a yellow and blue color scheme in it. So I'm working on my 7x10 Canson mixed media art journal page, and because it has coils, I only do one side. I've learned that that's how I prefer, and I tape off along the edge, and that keeps all the gunk out of the coils. I'm not sure why I picked blue and yellow, but I was going through my gel prints for another project, and I thought, okay, you know what, these have similar markings on them, very geometric, triangles, straight edges. So I thought, okay, they're going to go together, and yellow and blue looks amazing together. So I'm just arranging some of these collage sheets, gel prints, colored um, coffee filters that I have in my stash, and then I'm just gluing them down with some gel medium in matte finish. I've successfully used Mod Podge with this. Use whatever adhesive you have, and I typically put it underneath and on top. You can also use clear gesso. Each of those, when you add things on top, may respond differently to what you've added afterwards, but that's the fun of it. So try one, see if you like whatever effect it's getting. And if you do, then it's a win. And if you don't, try something else. When I make my colored papers and or my gel prints, I like to combine colors. So if I have yellow papers, I like yellow with blue, yellow with green, yellow with orange, yellow with pink. And I find when I do that, when I'm creating those papers, then I can utilize them in different ways. Because you want something, or when I put things together, I want them to work together. So here the yellow actually has blue on it, and as well as the same geometric shapes, stamps, stencil, marks, what have you. These are Tim Holtz stamps. There's 4 that come in the set, and they are great for adding interest, background, texture. And I chose these because they are geometric. I will put a link to these stamps and the stencils that I use in this video. This is the Retro Burst stencil. It's made by the Crafters Workshop, and again, it has geometric, and it's been something that I've used in those collage papers that I've already put down. So I do come back and do some stenciling, but I thought, okay, first I'm going to add some color here. Now, instead of covering up the collage papers, I'm typically avoiding going over them. And I'm adding yellow, and I'm adding a little bit of white to make it a little more opaque and lighter in some areas. And as usual, I'm applying it with my fingers, but you can use a brush if that's what you prefer. This stencil, unfortunately, is no longer being made by the Crafters Workshop. It is, I love it. the designs in it. I may have to take my hand and try to create something with my silhouette or find something similar to replace that. And I'm using blue paint over top where the yellow is. And I'm going to use the yellow, same stencil, over top the blue. Which I'm liking the effect here, but this background is becoming extremely busy. Lots of pattern and design elements. So for your information, this video has been sped up to double time. If you're watching this video, one thing that you need to know, lately I have found out that because of how YouTube works and operates, my videos aren't necessarily being recommended to you guys that are watching them. They have, their goal is to make money and to promote the ads and to do that. And typically, so they do whatever is in that interest. So one thing that you can do is double check that you are actually subscribed, because I've heard that some of my subscribers have notified me and said they somehow got bumped off. And click on the bell and select the option to be notified. And that way you're sure to be getting the information that there are new videos coming out. Typically I make it and put out at least 2 to 3 videos every week. So if you're not getting them recommended and you're not being notified for my channel or other people's channels, you may want to look into that and resubscribe if necessary, or select the notification. So because this background got so busy, I decided I'm going to do some negative painting, and I'm going to paint out some of that. And I just grabbed my circle template. This is a brand that I bought, I'm not even sure where, but I have been able to source one from Fiskars, and I'll put that in the description box as well as a link if you're looking for it. It is very, very usable. I've used this a lot. And I'm just putting circles. Some are overlapping and some aren't. And my goal here is just to bring out the circles and cut out some of the noise of this very busy background. And to do the negative painting, I'm just applying a coat of white acrylic paint or gesso. You could use either. I'm using an angle brush to do that. I find that it makes it easy to go around. And this is a good technique if your background has become extremely busy. It's amazing the interesting bits, whatever shape. I've used circles here. You could use hearts, you could use stars, but you have that gorgeous pattern and stamping because you haven't overthought it. I think that may be part of the process. And you can use any color to do the negative painting. Here I'm using white. Often I've used blue. Sometimes if you use a more opaque color, it will completely block out what's in the background. If you use a color that's more translucent, you will still be able to see the texture, the color, the pattern that is underneath. Likewise with the white, some of it's blocked out. If I do a second layer of white paint, I will block out more. So lots of options. So even within one technique, you can get more. some variety in how it actually looks. In the end, this looks like I've taken these circles and collaged them onto a background. And if I did that, it actually will give a very similar effect. One of my artist friends, Nikki, does a lot of collage work. Our pieces can look very close, and we've done it doing two totally different techniques. And you can see where I'm now going over it for a second time. Some of it is becoming more opaque. I'm thinking now what this might have looked like with the blue in the background. Get a dark navy blue and have these floating, maybe it become, or black. This that might have looked more like planets. I just love all the pattern and interest. And I did stamp. I took that stamp with the black archival ink and I put some on the top. Now, I traced those circles with my Stabilo all pencil, black. And I wasn't too worried if it was going to cause, once it got wet with the white paint, that it would smudge, because it was just going to look like shading. And so now I'm just activating the Stabilo that's still there with an angle brush and water and shading these circles, which is just making them stand out from the background all the more. You've seen me doing something similar with floating acrylics. That is permanent. This will not be permanent. Something I forgot later on, because so often I always work with mediums that are permanent, that here I forgot, and well, you'll see what happens. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do now, so I did grab out my script stamp, and you can see I've stamped some of that script onto the white area. I just thought it needed a little bit more pattern, and I picked this girl, and primarily because that blue dress. And then I picked the quote, "Be a voice, not an echo." Be you. I mean, she's got some funky jewelry and with spikes and different things, and I think that's the message. And even in your art journaling, be you. There are no rules to art journaling. Do what makes you happy and how that makes you happy. If you can get inspiration from something that I'm doing, great. But don't try to be me. Don't try to do things exactly how I am. Be true to you, and you'll be happier with your end results. And I'm just fussy cutting this because I wanted some of the background, more of the background to show, but I could have just as easily put that in there. And this sentiment is from one of my sentiment packs that I have put up for sale. And if you're interested, you can email me at creativekatie.com. Oh, sorry, creativekatie@gmail.com. There's also a video where you can actually see the various digital sentiment packs, so you will know exactly. So here I'm putting matte medium to glue this girl down, and I am smudging the Stabilo all pencil. It isn't a crisis because most of that's underneath the girl, but I was just shaking my head at myself. A way to avoid that would be to just put the matte medium on the back of the girl instead of brushing right on the page and then flattening it down, and being very careful to just put the matte medium on top of the girl and not across the whole page. It's avoidable. I just totally spaced on it. So I'm just taking off this. Now, because one of my collage pieces went across the tape, it kind of ripped and tore. So I just add a little bit more paint and touch up the area. No issues. Cutting off the excess. And I'm just taking the Stabilo All pencil and smudging it around to frame this page. And I'm smudging it with my finger. It's another way that you can do it. You don't necessarily have to activate it with water, but I'm doing both here. I like that effect. You can also use a woodless charcoal pencil. I've had a lot of success with those as well. But my Stabilo is out, so I'm going to use it. So all in all, I'm really happy with this page. I do come back and grab my Prussian blue and do some splattering. I just want a little bit more on that white. I find that white very stark. Thank you so much for watching. Please take the time to give me a comment, like my video. That tells YouTube that you like what I'm putting out, and they will then recommend my video and you will see them more. Bye for now.